Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dos with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
It's pretty outstanding, and it's an opportunity for me to tell you that tomorrow we're going to be live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, down at Calhoun's on the River. It's also an opportunity for me to tell you that we have an incredible WeShipFlorist.com hardwood report up today over at tclub.team. What was learned from the Duke contest, which, was a practice wrapped around a game, but really that's it. And that I want to ask the panel what Indiana would have done when we get into our extra time. What Indiana would have done if they would have played Georgia and played Alabama, this year's Indiana team. Because there are people that believe Indiana would be 0-2 in those two games. That was a golden opportunity to beat a Georgia team that wanted to lose, that Tennessee let slip away. Georgia wanted to lose to us. Alabama down there, it's a different kettle of fish. That's Alabama down there. And that Georgia game, wouldn't you love to have a do-over? The Playbook with William Patterson's on the way next. He's, again, what I want to tell you, he's outstanding. He's as outstanding as the Toronto Blue Jays, who many people thought would be dead in the water. You know why I love baseball? Because, brother, it ain't over till it's over. It's not over till you get that third out in the ninth inning. And it's not over in a 7-game series till you win 4 of them. And I love the Blue Jays unis. I love the fact that they're up 3-2, and I hope they win it. I hope they close out the Dodgers. But in the meantime, the Playbook with William Patterson's on the way next. I'll see you tomorrow at Calhoun's to the radio listener. To the rest of us, we're going to hang around because we need to get a life. Peace.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Join Fan Run Radio for a super spooky Halloween party at Calhoun's on the River this Friday starting at 11 a.m. Tony Basilio will be broadcasting live from the deck from 11 to 1, followed by William Patterson and the Playbook from 1 to 3, and The Drive from 3 to 6. Stop by for lunch or dinner and sign up for the Fan Run Box, which we'll be giving away at 6 p.m. live on the air. It's the Dark Mode Can't Miss Halloween special that'll have you more scared than John Mateer trying to get away from Josh Josephs in front of 100,000. Halloween, live from the iconic Calhoun's on the River this Friday. Be there.
And here we go live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's the Playbook presented by VIP Play with Brett Hollander, Allie Campbell, and Alex Sarkis. I'm William Patterson. We appreciate you listening along with us on this fine Thursday from Knoxville, Tennessee, as we continue to get ready for the ranked versus ranked matchup inside Neyland Stadium on Saturday night. Prime time, dark mode, all eyes on the College Football Coliseum on Saturday night. I cannot wait for it. I can feel it in the air. Maybe the weather isn't exactly what I would want it to be, even though we have had a little bit of absence of the rain today. That's a good thing. But I think we're going to have good weather tomorrow, which is very important, as you can join us at Calhoun's on the River tomorrow. We'll be doing a live show following Tony Basilio and company. The Drive will also be there. I'm really looking forward to it. Going to be a great day tomorrow, and it's going to be a great show today as we've got plenty to cover. As we continue our Inside the Matchup of Tennessee and Oklahoma, we'll give you the injury report update from last night as the SEC's initial availability report was given, and we had some good news revolving around one of Tennessee's best cornerbacks. Maybe that's a little bit of a clickbait right there, but it is still good news that Colton Hood was not listed on the availability report. We'll talk about that here in a second, but we'll also focus on the Oklahoma players that you need to know about heading into Saturday's matchup, including quarterback John Mateer, a couple of really good wide receivers and defensive players as well. So we'll talk about that. And then Reese Davis earlier this week talked about this matchup and talked about the importance of those big plays. And Tennessee has done a great job this season creating those big plays defensively. We'll tell you if that's going to be a big impact in Saturday's matchup. We'll also have our best bets look ahead as we get ready for tomorrow's solidification of the slate. We'll talk about any line movement of note in these big matchups this weekend. And in hour number 2, we'll have our Thursday annual buy or sell segment where we talk about who we're buying, who we're selling heading into week 10, some of the biggest storylines in college football. And then something we didn't get to talk about yesterday that I wanted to bridge over to today is talking about how the NCAA is going to decide to allow athletes to bet on pro sports. Now, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey said he's not a fan. I don't always agree with Greg Sankey, but I might be on his side in this one. We'll talk about should college athletes be allowed to bet on pro sports, and we'll wrap it up with our final thoughts. Plenty to cover on this Thursday edition of the Playbook. Let's dive into it, but before we do so, let's welcome in the rest of the crew, beginning with Allie. Allie, how are you?
I am good. Happy to be here. As Brett always tells a fun story, my little happy for the week is that I was able to buy purple sweet potatoes. They're really hard to find. They're my favorite thing in the world. Really good for you. And I found them at Sprouts. So
purple sweet potatoes. I think that's the first time purple sweet potatoes have ever been mentioned on the airwaves of any place. Well, I like that. That's a unique pull.
Yeah. They're attached to every single, or like the top 3 populations that have the highest longevity. So
now, do they have a different taste as compared to the orange sweet potatoes?
A little bit. I think they're better.
Okay.
I'll take them into the office one day, let you guys try them.
Interesting.
Sweet.
We'll have
they have a slight texture change.
We'll have a purple potato contest or a purple potato taste test, I should say.
Sprouts is elite, though.
Sprouts.
I like that.
What is Sprouts?
It's just an organic kind of grocery store, like a Whole Foods.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'd say it's Whole Foods. Now, we have one of them in Memphis. I've never been before. My mom likes it. I didn't know we had one here.
Yeah, it's actually near the station.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I might have
It hadn't been open very long.
Okay. I might have to
Month,
sprout on
month and
over
a
there.
half. Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's just stop the show now. How do we go on after that?
Brett, how are you?
I'm okay, I guess.
Okay.
Boy.
Did I just bring down the mood with that transition?
No. I'm been annoyed today, William. I always have car stories for some reason these days, and I had another one. Truck drivers, man, what do they have to back into every parking spot in a spot? Like, is that what truckers do? You know, you're a truck driver, William. Do you back in like if you go to a grocery or a restaurant? Do you always back in? Because I got behind, like I pulled in and there was like 3 guys in front of me. I guess this place is just popular for trucks, which it is. But like each one just, I'm like, what are you doing? Just pull in the parking spot.
Well, when I thought, when you were talking about truck drivers, I thought you were referring to like 18-wheelers.
Yeah, sorry,
I was like, I'm not an 18-wheeler driver.
No.
I am a owner of a white Chevrolet truck.
But then you look in the lot, like all of them are like backed into a spot.
I parked forward today, so if that helps
I did
you
see
out.
that, but I'm talking about like going into like a store. Like they always back in.
Well, my thing is, if I have the opportunity, I will back in.
I mean,
because it's easier to leave. And I'd rather do the hard work before.
I occasionally do it, but I'm like, maybe I was just impatient.
Okay.
And there was 3 of them. Maybe that was the problem too.
So over the last couple of weeks, we have now collected what to do and not to do when around Brett on the roads. Do not back your truck in. Do not get up close to him because it goes all over the place apparently when he's sightseeing and looking over a bridge.
Well, good thing I was sightseeing
true.
today because I was at a red light and I guess a fence had broke at this farm, and I look up and there's 4 horses just going across the crosswalk.
You should have led with that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I'm just on my phone waiting for the light to, and I do want to double take because I'm like, no way, you don't expect 4 horses just to little ponies too.
Wow.
So I didn't know what to do. I just drove off, but do you get out and corral them in those situations and go
Get
tell
out of the
the
car,
owner,
start honking at him?
do your arms?
Well, maybe if you were in a Bronco, they'd follow. I don't know.
Man.
Oh, there you go. Good plug.
My goodness.
Wait, is this a highway or?
No, it was out in Farragut. I was on
Okay.
a city street, Concord Road, so it's there's this random farm right there. And you could see when I drove down the road a little bit where the fence had broken and they clearly,
What?
had stepped out. I've been looking to see if there's any Knoxville police stories or people talking about it, but I haven't been able to find it. So it's been a wild day, William, to say the least.
Yeah.
I need the weekend bad, man.
Wow.
I need the weekend. It's just spooky season, I guess, for me.
Well, Alex, tough act to follow.
I should just let
Hey,
him
I've
go
got
first.
to go in today.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
I spent
Come
my
on.
morning playing cricket. For
What?
one
No
class.
way.
Cricket?
Amon's
Are
class.
you in Amon's?
I'm in Amon's
I did
class.
that too. Yeah.
So I spent my morning learning, and then we played cricket.
Nice.
And it was awesome.
Do
It was fun.
explain, because I have watched
Yeah.
probably 2 cricket matchups in my life.
Yeah.
Not the entirety of them, but I have seen them.
Well,
It does
we
look
weren't even
awkward.
supposed to play today. Today was the day where we learn about the game.
Okay.
And so we watched a little video explaining how to play cricket, and then we went outside for the last 30 minutes of class and played, and then we're going to play again later here in a few weeks. So it was fun. I had the equivalent of a home run, which is 6 points in cricket.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I dropped an easy fly ball, though, which I'm going to be thinking about for
Oh,
the rest
man.
of the day.
Yeah.
My baseball
Brutal.
background. So
Now,
I
what
mean,
do they call the equivalent of a home run? Is there a term?
I think it's a boundary or something. I don't know.
A
I
boundary?
probably should know that because we have to write an essay on it.
Yeah, it
but-
seems like you need to clean up on your
I'm gonna have to-
your cricket.
Yeah,
knowledge.
I think I'm going to be better at the performance part of the game than the comprehension part. But
Well, hey, you can
That's
add
all I
that
care
to your repertoire. If Tennessee gets a cricket team, you'll be the first in line to cover them.
yeah,
crazy.
also we got blown out, and I'm on an intramural soccer team, and we got blown out last night.
Oh
So
no.
how do you have time for that?
I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just me and all my buddies, and they don't do. I don't know. They don't really do anything. I'm
Yeah.
the only one that does anything. So, but I'll show up and play, man. I like being an athlete.
Well, I
There
was
you
going
go.
to ask if you were covering the Lady Vols exhibition
I was
last
not
night.
there
but
last night.
sounds like you had some bigger fish to fry. Soccer, intramurals is fun.
I love
Intramurals is a
intramurals.
lot of fun. I guess my intramural story would be, we would play every year. We made it to the Elite Eight in back-to-back seasons. Now, as we
You're
got
talking basketball, right?
basketball,
Yeah.
yes. Now, as we got older, some people started to catch up to us. One of those was Ethan Davis,
There you go.
Tennessee's
Mhm.
tight end. He showed up 5 minutes late to the game
Mhm.
and then hopped on the court and dropped 30 points and was dunking on us. But the host of this show did put him on the floor with a couple of crossovers and hit the shot.
Wow.
No way.
Wow.
I did.
Are you a basketball player in high school?
Well, not in high school. I quit growing. I'm 5'10" and in Memphis. So,
Okay. That's a good.
He's
yeah,
the champ at the station.
That's a good point.
but I am the champ at the station. That don't ask
I got
around
heated.
here.
I got heated.
Yeah, don't
man.
ask
I got
around here
heated.
about the Fan Run Final Four.
Oh boy.
That wasn't my brightest moment here, but I do love intramurals. They're fun,
Very
especially in college.
When we played cricket last year, I will say Caleb Webb was in our class, former
Oh,
Tennessee
yeah.
football player, and he dominated. And
Really?
our
Wow.
teacher was a big fan. It was exciting.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be that guy, but I was going to be, kind of like, well, how does the pro athlete? Actually, I'll tell you, this was a funny story too. So he's at the free throw line after his 20-point barrage in the first 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, hands on my knees, panting. Obviously, like I'm in better shape now, but in college, it's a little bit different. And I turned to him at the free throw line. I'm like, dude, what are you doing out here?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh man, it's just conditioning for me. And I go, I said something else, but I was like, man, well, you're wearing my ass out. And he's a pretty good ball player. I mean, I guess if you're 6'4" going up against a bunch of frat guys, you would look good, but it was
How are you getting in shape running up and down with some frat guys?
well, I mean, he had lob. I mean, it was like
I guess
the
you're not-
Lob City Clippers with him out there. Just throw it up, and he was DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, I bet. Man, I bet that'd been fun to watch.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a fun recap of everyone and what
Quite
we're
the
up
days
to.
we've had.
Yeah. Real quick, checking the YouTube chat. Welcome in. Buck says, nice job on the Basilio show. I appreciate you tuning in. Really looking forward to meeting Tony B tomorrow, as once again we'll be at Calhoun's on the river. Really, really looking forward to that one. Brett, Allie, and I will be there, and looking forward to seeing everyone. That fan run box giveaway tomorrow night at 6 o'clock too. So come over for lunch, come over for dinner, come over for some live music as well. This is going to be a fun day tomorrow. Let's get into this Oklahoma matchup, however, as today we'll go inside the matchup but focus on the players to know for the Sooners. And a critical November stretch for number 14 Tennessee begins this Saturday with a top 20 showdown against number 18 Oklahoma inside of what will be an electric sold-out Neyland Stadium crowd. The Volunteers will look to keep things rolling offensively after an impressive 56-point outburst in last weekend's victory at Kentucky that featured touchdowns from 7 different players and 504 yards of total offense. And real quick, before we get into the players to watch for Oklahoma, we had our eyes on that injury report last night for our own Tennessee players. And it's really no surprise, Jeremiah McCoy, Ricky Gibson, and Travis Smith Jr. all ruled out for Saturday's matchup. I know there were some murmurs yesterday about McCoy's availability. Again, I will reiterate, I anticipate him to be back against New Mexico State. That's going to be in 2 weeks. You have a bye week after this Oklahoma game this weekend. I expect Jeremiah McCoy to be back for that one if Tennessee wins on Saturday. Arian Carter, questionable. Now, earlier in the day, Pete Nakos of On3 reported that he'd be doubtful, but he's listed as questionable as he's dealing with 2 turf toe injuries. So that's very brutal, by the way. Not a nice injury to have. But I guess if you put enough pain numbing around that, you're able to play. But he is questionable for Saturday's matchup. But the big revelation, Colton Hood, as we heard yesterday, was listed as day-to-day. We talked about it on the air. He was not on the injury report, and that is significant for the Volunteers, who need everyone available at that cornerback position. Colton Hood not listed. Now, obviously, he could be added to it if he re-injures or has something pop up throughout practice the remaining days until the game. But him not being on the injury report, I think, is a good sign for the Tennessee football team. That's the injury report. Let's get into the specifics of this Oklahoma offense to begin with. And it's quarterback John Mateer. Now, we talked about him yesterday. He has not been the same player as he was in the first 5 games of the season, where he was averaging, really strong numbers, 304 yards per game before the injury, 192 yards after that injury. And those are games against Texas, South Carolina, and Ole Miss this past weekend. The Sooners also just 1-2 since his return. But this is a guy that can light it up at any point. This is a guy that can take over the game at any moment. And what Mateer gives Oklahoma when he is on his game is one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the country. There's a big difference between the quarterback position last year in Norman as opposed to this year, because Mateer is really good at making plays with his legs and staying alive and keeping the play alive. And this Tennessee defense is going to be tasked with that on Saturday. We've talked a lot about not overcommitting on your pass rush routes and just trying to contain Mateer. I think that's the key once again Saturday. But in terms of what he gives Oklahoma, he gives the Sooners one of the best quarterbacks in the country and a guy that can make a play at any given moment. So Tennessee is going to have to be on their A game, even if Mateer is a little bit banged up. Allie, watching John Mateer play, when he is on his game, what does he give the Sooners team?
Yeah, he gives them precision, and he's pretty accurate. There was a reason that he was involved in Heisman conversations earlier this season. What he was doing was really unexpected, and it was really strong. And he gave life to the run game, which is since taken a step back. But yeah, I mean, he obviously doesn't look the same after the injury, so it'll be interesting to see what a week has done for him.
Brett, what about you? Watching Mateer on tape, what do you see?
Toughness. I mean, he's a battler. You saw that he comes back as quickly as he did, maybe too quickly from his thumb injury. But they ask him to do a lot. He is their offense right now. It's just, between the run game and the pass game. So, yeah, he means a lot to this team. And I'm expecting him to play pretty well on Saturday, honestly, against this defense. But overall, I think it's just his toughness, his leadership that he shows out there on a week in, week out basis.
Alex, you nod your head at that. What do you anticipate from Mateer?
I mean, it's a dual threat attack, and we haven't seen him on that game here recently. I mean, he hasn't had a rushing game over 20 yards since, I believe it was Auburn. So, still working back. And I think the key for him is his legs. I mean, he hasn't had a rushing touchdown since that Auburn game as well. So that's the key, I think, in this one. And we saw how the Tennessee defense fared against Taylor Green a few weeks ago. It was not the best showing. So I think, if he can come out and provide dual threat, make the throws he needs to make, but, his legs are going to be his main weapon in this one, I think.
Precision, toughness, and that dual threat ability, all good traits to describe John Mateer, the quarterback for the Sooners. But a guy that he's going to try to get the ball to is wide receiver Isaiah Centenga. An Arkansas transfer. Centenga has been one of the SEC's best receivers this season. Despite a lackluster passing offense, Centenga has caught 43 passes for 624 yards and 5 touchdowns and has been at his best in SEC play, including 127 yards against Auburn and 131 last week against the Rebels. And knowing the injury report that Colton Hood will be available, what are the expectations against these Sooner receivers who I think are much improved from last year? Centenga being a big reason why, but I think he gives them a big play threat, and then you wrinkle in Deion Burks, a guy that can be used east and west in the backfield as a possible sweep guy, and just a guy you can get the ball in space to, and he can go make a play. I'm more worried about Burks and that aspect, and especially kind of 7 to 8 yards from the line of scrimmage, as that has been a problem for Tennessee, especially on 3rd and long. I think if Hood is able to go, you've got a matchup for Centenga, but then the guys like Deion Burks up against those linebackers, that's going to put a lot of stress on guys like Jaden Perlotti in pass coverage to keep up with them. Perlotti's got the speed for it, but that's really what I'm worried about. 7 to 8 yards from the line of scrimmage. Is Tennessee able to win there? But having Hood back to guard a guy like Centenga, who's been really, really solid throughout the season, is really big. Allie, knowing the injury report, what are your expectations for these Tennessee DBs up against the Oklahoma wide receivers?
Yeah, well, this is one of the strongest parts of their offense, is their run offense has struggled a little bit recently. So I think that wide receivers like Centenga are huge to get them on the scoreboard, and having Colton Hood back, huge for this matchup. But yeah, this is definitely a key receiver for them.
Alex, what about you?
Well, I think you got to go back to Tennessee's last game against really some premier receivers in Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams. And you think about that first Alabama drive, and both of them were involved heavily.
Yeah.
Got some big chunk plays. That's what Tennessee has to avoid in this one. And it's going to be a tall task. Obviously, they go to Centenga a lot. I mean, that's a lot of receptions. So I think, you see the way he's played these last few weeks, multiple 100-yard performances. I mean, Colton Hood's going to have to be on his game. Hopefully that injury is not going to plague him enough to where, it hinders him at all. But Tennessee's got to tackle. Like you said, that mid-range 8 yards in the middle of the field, you got to make those plays. And on 3rd down, you got to get off the field, because that's going to be a big, big turning point in this one.
Brett, the Oklahoma receivers.
Probably going to have a nice day. That's the way it goes. Kentucky had 2 guys go over 100. I never even heard of them.
You've heard of Kendrick Law.
He transferred to Kentucky. That's all I need to know. He must not be that good.
He came from Alabama last year.
He transferred to Kentucky. I'll just leave it at that. Clearly, he was very sought after, I will say. But that scares even more, So, he took a 5-yard pass and went 70 yards. So that scares you. A freshman lights you up. So we can't cover anybody. So I'm expecting, possibly, both guys to go over 100 yards on Saturday.
Okay.
I'm expecting a shootout. I haven't seen anything otherwise from our defense to say that they're not going to have a nice day.
Well, I think it's fair to also include
and Hood, as good as we think he is a part of this 30 points a game we're giving up.
Well, he's one player on an 11-man unit.
He is.
I mean,
we talk about
I
one
think
guy
he does his job for the most part.
But we just talk about if McCoy's back, this defense is different. That's one guy.
Well, it gives you help and coverage. Now you're solidified on both sides of the field. Right now, you've got one side of the field that's locked down. The other is an open door.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of open doors, but yeah. sliding doors, windows open. It doesn't matter.
Well, I will say real quick on Kendrick Law, he was a big reason why Tennessee was able to win last year. He was the one that swung on Boo Carter on that third down play against Alabama's final possession.
Maybe that's why they sent him to the coal mines.
Backed him up 15 yards. I like Kendrick Law though. I think
he's
he was
electric, man.
He was sought after. He just decided to go get paid.
There's also
at Kentucky.
no room for him at Alabama.
That is true.
They have some good ones.
Let's switch to the defensive side of the football, and we get to talk about one of my favorite players in college football on the defensive side of the ball, and that's R. Mason Thomas. Thomas is one of the nation's best pass rushers and in Saturday's game with 22 tackles, 5.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. He was dominant a season ago, too, totaling 9 sacks, including half a sack against the Volunteers, and the senior edge rusher is the best pass rusher that Tennessee has faced yet this season. And this pass rush does concern me because I saw the type of push that Alabama had up against Tennessee a couple of weeks back, one that resulted in 4 sacks and a safety. R. Mason Thomas is a guy that I think sometimes you let his size fool you because he is an edge defender, but he looks like a linebacker. And, man, he gets back there and can mollywop some quarterbacks. He did it to Jackson Arnold a couple of times a couple of weeks ago. I like R. Mason Thomas a lot. He's a guy that I'm going to be keying in on, but also I look at the big interior guys like a David Stone, a former 5-star recruit that has, been pretty steady for the Sooners over the last couple of seasons. I think this is a good pass rush, one that Tennessee cannot overlook on Saturday. Allie, does the Oklahoma pass rush concern you in this matchup?
Absolutely. Obviously, this is one of the best defenses that we've had to face, and he's one of the best defensive players that we will be facing. And this is, strength on strength here. So we're just going to have to see who's able to win out. But this is a really talented guy that I'm nervous to see him have a big day on Saturday. And he talked about the matchup and trying to get Joey to roll out the pocket and facing smaller guys who can, run around. They had a little bit of struggle against Ole Miss last week, and he said that they're working on that in practice. So hopefully not enough to combat what we have. Yeah,
a couple of smaller quarterbacks that Oklahoma's gone up against. Trinidad Chambliss being one of them, had some success last week. And Jackson Arnold, heading into that Oklahoma game, he was a guy that ran all over Baylor. Now, a big thing I said going into that matchup was, I don't think you can do this in the SEC. And Oklahoma quickly reminded them of that. 10 sacks, including a safety that was significant to some in that one. But Brett, in your eyes, this defensive line for the Sooners obviously has put up some strong numbers. Is that inflated because of the matchups they've gone up against, or is this a possible concern for the Volunteers' offensive line?
The offensive line's been a strength this year. I'd like to have more stability up there. I don't like the rotating parts, but you're just trying to find the best 5 guys. I think you have an idea who that is. You like the way Aguilar gets rid of the ball as well, takes care of the ball. But it's going to be a point of emphasis for sure. Our offensive line, has struggled at times, especially against Bama, but that was road game environment, things like that. At home, they've been good. And I expect them to hold their own. I think Aguilar's got to do a good job of holding on to the ball. I'm more worried about blitzing linebackers. We saw a couple of whiffs from running backs, things like that. They got free on Aguilar. So it takes the whole unit to cover each other. So I'm expecting it to be a battle, but I think we can hold up pretty well.
Alex.
Yeah, I agree with Brett there. I think the offensive line has been, really one of the biggest positives on this team this year. And Alabama obviously was not a good showing, but really everybody came out of that game, didn't look like they were on fully. So I think they're going to do a decent job. I mean, I don't think they'll give up 0 sacks like they started the year, but they've really held it together. And the rotation has been an interesting thing that Brett touched on because, you're looking for the best guys and, you got a guy like David Sanders in there. So we'll see what happens, but that rotation is going to keep going no matter what happens because Heupel's talked about that a lot this year. They really like doing that, and that's going to be something to watch because Joey Aguilar is going to need some time and get those multiple 100-yard receivers that he had last weekend rolling again.
Another guy I want to touch on is Owen Heineke, linebacker for this Sooners team. Heineke is a do-it-all linebacker who earned one of the highest PFF grades on Oklahoma's defense this season. 33 tackles, 1 sack, and 4 pass deflections. Yesterday, I talked about that cheetah role that Brent Venables had at Clemson where he had a couple of these linebackers that could play a lot of different positions. Heineke is one of these guys. He's a good pass rusher. He's good in that second level, but is also not afraid to get back in pass coverage and defend a running back out of the backfield. The versatility of this Oklahoma defense, I think, is one of the best traits of this group, because I mentioned R. Mason Thomas, a guy that doesn't look like, the quintessential defensive lineman with a big belly. He's a guy that can come off the edge and move back as a linebacker as well. So the versatility, I think, is going to pose an issue. Maybe not an issue, but pose a threat for this Tennessee offense, because I think this is going to be the best group you've seen, and very similar to Alabama in terms of their personnel. So it's going to be really important for Heupel to scheme a good offensive plan to not allow for the versatility of this Oklahoma defense to become a big-time factor. And that's at all three levels. That's in the passing game, that's in the option game, that's in the running game. So really every way that Tennessee is going to try to attack this Oklahoma defense, Oklahoma is going to have a guy in place to be able to make a play. It's all about blocking and making sure you're getting in the right gaps to allow for these plays to happen. Though I do have some concerns about the Oklahoma cornerbacks, particularly on one side of the football. I like Eli Bowen a lot, but I've seen a couple of matchups this season where they have picked on one of Oklahoma's freshman corners, Cam Coleman. Had a Thanksgiving dinner on this guy against against Auburn, and I think that's a possibility for Tennessee to have a point of emphasis there in the passing game. But overall, a very versatile group. Allie, what do you make of the versatility of this Oklahoma defense?
Well, it means that Tennessee has to have multiple ways to win offensively, but what's helpful is that Ole Miss was able to get into that a little bit and so expose some of those things. So now that we have that on tape, and the Sooners have typically been giving up 10 points per game, but allowed 34 last week. So that's something to keep in mind, with 413 yards surrendered. So that's more than double what their season average was. So I think having that as a resource is helpful, but you do have to have multiple ways to win, because this is a very versatile defense that can get you in several ways.
Alex.
Well, it's the battle that everybody wants to see. It's Tennessee's top-ranked offense against Oklahoma's top-ranked defense. That's the reason this game is so anticipated. And you look at a guy like Heineke. Think of a guy like Caleb Downs. I mean, these versatile linebackers are changing the way that defenses played, and it's skyrocketing them up draft boards. So, it's always a concern. And man, I'm sure Tennessee wishes that they had a guy like that, because their linebackers have not been good in pass coverage. But no, it's going to be, this is the heavyweight fight that the Tennessee offense is, it's a statement opportunity. So I think that's the big thing. It's a statement side for both teams. And you look at what happened to Oklahoma's defense last week. They've got something to prove this week, and Tennessee does as well.
Brett.
Yeah, their linebacker's good. Kip Lewis, I believe is his other name, is a good linebacker as well.
Yeah.
Experienced guy, also up there, might lead the team in tackles. Just an athletic group. I think they're weak at the safety spot, kind of like ours. Heard a guy from Oklahoma talking to the drive yesterday. He spoke on that, and their numbers are definitely inflated. They've played some of the weaker offensive groups in the conference, but like we said yesterday as well, they also, when you play teams like that, you're supposed to handle your business, and they've done that. So didn't play terrible against Ole Miss, and had a chance to win. But this will be definitely a big challenge for them on the road. But I don't think it'll be a great battle, and the Bulls will have his guys ready, and hopefully Heupel has us ready on offense as well.
Yeah, going to be a battle. As Alex mentions, two of the most elite units on both sides of the football going up against each other on Saturday night. We'll continue to talk about Tennessee and Oklahoma when we return, this time a focus on those big plays from the Tennessee defense that have become one of the best traits, if not the only best traits of this Tennessee defense. We'll break it down when we return right here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
Take Fan Run Radio with you on the all-new Fan Run app. Just search for Fan Run Radio wherever you download your apps.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspronakville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor. But we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same-day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220 or book in 30 seconds or less at menspronknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Tired of waiting for the weekend or good weather to play around? From casual to committed, Back 9 Golf has got you covered. Open to the public and offering flexible membership opportunities, they offer 24/7 access to 5 different simulators, providing cutting-edge technology, instant swing feedback, fun mini-games, and a wide variety of courses to choose from. Perfect for that solo round you want after work, or swing by with food and drinks for an afternoon with friends and family. No stressful tee times, no rain delays. It's Back 9 Golf your way. Book your tee time now at theback9golf.com.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
Join Fan Run Radio for a super spooky Halloween party at Calhoun's on the River this Friday starting at 11 a.m. Tony Basilio will be broadcasting live from the deck from 11 to 1, followed by William Pattison and the Playbook from 1 to 3, and The Drive from 3 to 6. Stop by for lunch or dinner and sign up for the Fan Run Box, which we'll be giving away at 6 p.m. live on the air. It's the Dark Mode Can't Miss Halloween special that'll have you more scared than John Mateer trying to get away from Josh Josephs in front of 100,000. Halloween, live from the iconic Calhoun's on the River this Friday. Be there.
All right, back here on the Playbook presented by VIP Play. We appreciate you listening along with us, whether it be on that free Fan Run Radio app, 105.7 FM or 1340 AM here in K-Town on the local dial, or on the X/YouTube live stream. However you're listening or watching, we do appreciate your time. Let's continue talking about Tennessee and Oklahoma, this time with an emphasis on big plays and how they result big time for Tennessee, as ESPN's College Game Day show won't be in Knoxville this weekend for the Tennessee-Oklahoma game, but the Vols are getting ABC's top broadcasting crew for the 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time kick from Neyland Stadium. It'll be Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and Holly Rowe on the call. But while the Saturday morning show won't be set up outside Harris Hall, the crew will certainly have their eyes on the top 20 SEC matchup on Rocky Top. And during Wednesday's episode of the ESPN College Game Day podcast, host Reese Davis and Pete Thamel broke down their thoughts on the upcoming game between the Vols and the Sooners, and this is what Reese Davis had to say. Quote, "I think Tennessee wins the game at home," Davis said. "They'll make more big plays in Oklahoma, both in terms of creating negative plays for the Sooners with sacks and tackles for loss and explosive plays on offense. I think the big play edge will go in Tennessee's favor, and that will be the difference in this game. And this is something we have talked about this week. And really, every time we talk about this Tennessee defense, it is important that Tennessee creates turnovers and gets points off those turnovers. Right now, Tennessee leads the FBS, tied with Louisiana State for most touchdowns scored on the defensive side of the football with 5. And while it's tough to predict that to happen every game, as a lot of it's kind of spur of the moment, Tennessee does create a lot of turnovers and put themselves in position to make plays like that. And I think Saturday, with the type of magnitude this game has, with the crowd going to be on edge, this is a playoff elimination game, folks. So it's do or die now for Tennessee football and for Oklahoma as well. But if you're able to get a big-time momentum play, a pick six or a fumble recovery, just an interception, whatever it may be, that's how you get even more momentum on top of everything else going on. Dark mode, prime time, at home. That's how you continue to build and put Oklahoma in a really tough spot, an unfamiliar spot, as this has not been a Oklahoma team that's really had to go into a rocking environment yet. They went to Texas, or I guess played Texas in the Cotton Bowl in the Red River rivalry, but that was a neutral site thing, and that's a split stadium. This is going to be 101,000 fans screaming and yelling, and it's going to be 7:30, so everyone's tailgated pretty appropriately. It's going to be loud. And if you're able to make those type of big plays, then I think it gives Tennessee a ton of momentum to come out with a win in this one. I think it's going to be another key for success, and we'll talk about those tomorrow. But with the way this Tennessee defense allows some of those intermediate pass plays that we were talking about in the first segment, you got to find a way to turn the football over for Oklahoma and also get into the backfield, get a couple of big momentum plays. Allie, are creating turnovers and those big plays the main key for success for this Tennessee defense on Saturday?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is one of the only ways that the defense has found a way to make some impact in this game. And like you said, we're leading the SEC in, touchdowns scored on defense. And then also we have some of the highest amount of sacks, turnovers in the league. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, got to make those big plays. Alex, the key for success for this Tennessee defense, turning that football over.
Well, it's always a key. And I think this Tennessee defense I did not think these defensive touchdowns would be sustainable, but so far they have been. And you saw another one last week with Farouk and making one of the plays of the season, I thought. But no, it's, they've found a way to make it a key, and winning the turnover battle anyway is always a key. So, yeah, I mean, especially against, a defense that has not been good, particularly in stopping other teams when they are able to keep possession of the ball. Yeah, it's huge. But I think another thing I want to touch on is, yes, Tennessee has been really good with defensive touchdowns, but they've come up short when it comes to turning the ball over and not capitalizing sometimes. We saw that against Alabama. We saw that against Georgia. And those could have been completely different games had Tennessee been able to get a touchdown or points off of some of those turnovers. So I think that's more of a stress this week. If you get a turnover in good field position, you have to take advantage. And, you've seen 2 games where it's really cost Tennessee so far, and that's got to be cleaned up. And whether that be play calling, execution, that's going to be an X factor, and that's more of something that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I want to touch on something you said here in a second, but Brett, want to give you the opportunity as well.
If you have your thought.
Well, no, go ahead. I want to hear your thought as well. It might add into it.
It's obviously crucial. It's been crucial for this defense. The only way we've gotten off the field is by creating these turnovers. And I was going to say that what Alex said about the whole creating turnovers, but what do you do with that? If you're not scoring it, I can think that can be said on Aguilar's side as well. I mean, you almost lost the Mississippi State game from your mistakes, throwing picks as well. You don't want to give them momentum, which knocks out the crowd, things like that. So it's going to go both ways. And usually, I mean, it's a game maximum and things like that. Tennessee's is always used, and it'll be a crucial thing on Saturday.
Obviously, this defense has been under a lot of criticism over really the majority of the season. And talking about capitalizing offensively when you're able to create those turnovers, we saw it a couple of times for Tennessee. Honestly, what I consider a turnover at this point is getting a 3 and out or just a stop getting the football back. I consider that a turnover, and maybe that's a bad thing. But against Alabama, you got 4 in a row, right? And you only scored on 2 out of those 4 attempts. So I think it is a little bit unfair to put that amount of pressure on the Tennessee offense to score every time, because this is going to be a good defense they're going up against. And it's not realistic in any game to expect the offense to score every single possession. But now with your Tennessee defense continuing to struggle and kind of needing the offense to respond after those turnovers, it puts a lot of pressure on them. So I understand where you're coming from. I'm not necessarily arguing either. I just think when I look at what a lot of people are saying, it's like, well, they've got to play complementary football. The offense has to respond. But I think that's unfair to the defense as well. As bad as the defense has been at times, it's unfair for them to get a stop. And if Tennessee's offense doesn't score, like it's now on them or on either unit, right? I think just overall, Tennessee has to be more fundamental defensively, tackling, wrapping up, bringing down. But outside of that, just in the grand scheme of things, you have to be better at playing complementary football. And I think that's my biggest argument in this discourse.
You bring up a good point. And obviously, the pressure that you put on the offense there is immense. But I think my pushback on that is, you have such a bad defense that gives up points, in conference this year. And, when you get that break, you don't get, when you get that good field position off of a turnover, you just, in my opinion, you have to get points. And it is pressure, but it's an unfortunate pressure that the defense has put on their offense this year.
I think anything past your own 40-yard line is something you have to capitalize on. Now, obviously, if you get an interception or a fumble in the red zone or something like that, it's a little bit different. But even against Mississippi State, you mentioned the Alabama game. Mississippi State, you caused a turnover in that one and you weren't really able to move the ball. I don't even think you got a first down on that possession. So obviously I think it is important to capitalize on those mistakes. But I'd say anything from your own 40 beyond is something you have to get some sort of points on. Anything to add, guys?
It's unfair that it's this way, but I think that is how it has to be now. Like, the offense is how we're winning games. And so if the defense gives you an opportunity, you need to find a way to capitalize on that when it's in a fair situation.
Yeah. I mean, and this is going to be an Oklahoma defense that's going to test you. It's not going to be given on Saturday, as this has been a really impressive group. Obviously, their toughest task of the season so far was that Ole Miss offense, and they allowed 34 points in their own building. And Tennessee is going to be playing in their home building in this one and have, I think, had a little bit more consistency throughout the season offensively as opposed to Ole Miss. Now, obviously, the Rebels had plenty of success on the road against Georgia, but I go back to, Tennessee just in some of these intermediate games as well. I mean, put up 41 points against Mississippi State. A couple of those come from the defense with that, and that's important to note. But even against Syracuse, it wasn't an issue to put up points in that one. Like, Ole Miss has had some outings, like against Kentucky and against Wazoo, where they were only able to put up, 24, 28 points. So I think Tennessee has got the better unit than anything Oklahoma has seen, but that shouldn't handicap how good this group has been throughout the majority of the season. So obviously going to be the matchup to watch for, the OU defense versus Tennessee's offense. But I feel like if Tennessee wants to get the upper hand, it's creating turnovers and giving easy opportunities for this Tennessee offense to put points on the board. All right, when we come back, it is our Best Bets Look Ahead presented by VIP Play. We got some time today to break this one down. Obviously, a lot of action this upcoming weekend in college football. I'll tell you the sides I'm leaning as we go into Friday, getting ready to solidify our picks. So stay right here. It's the Playbook presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
You're listening to Fan Run Radio, the sports humans.
Hey, football fans, this is Stats.
And this is the Sheik. And together we are the Cover Boys, and we cover college football like no one else.
Each week, we preview all the big games in college football, and we may not tell you who's going to win, but we'll tell you who's going to cover.
Our patented right sides are clicking at 66% against the spread all time.
So join us right here every Friday evening at 8 for the Cover Boys on the official voice of Tennessee fans, Fan Run Radio.
And enjoy the winners, everyone.
Hey, Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Dick's House of Sport at West Town Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, Hit Tracks batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Merritt Garage Doors and Services has been serving the East Tennessee community since 1963. At Merritt, quite simply, the customer comes first. Their door specialists will not try to needlessly upsell you because they are not commission-based like other places. This allows them to focus on your needs and not their pockets. They offer a range of beautiful garage doors in a variety of styles to suit the architecture of your home, and they will supply and install a wide range of garage door openers and accessories to take your garage door to the next level. To request a quote or schedule a service repair call, visit merrittgaragedoor.com.
Citizens National Bank.
Are you getting penalized because you can't make it to your bank on time? No need for unnecessary roughness. It's time for a new game plan. Easily manage your accounts with Citizens National Bank's mobile banking app. Check your balance, deposit a check, and pay a bill, all from your phone with CNB's mobile banking.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Are you tired of spending hours on laundry and ironing? Let Crown Cleaners handle your dry cleaning so you can handle your business. Our expert team can take care of your clothes, removing stains and wrinkles like they were never there. Whether it's your best suit or everyday attire, we handle it all at Crown Cleaners. Say goodbye to laundry stress and hello to extra free time. Crown Cleaners, Big Orange Country's imperial dry cleaning service since the 1960s. Online at crowncleaners.com.
All right, back here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play. DJ Brett bringing us back.
That's awesome, man. Let's go, Brett.
Appreciate that.
What is that?
What?
Who sings that?
In Sync.
In Sync? I don't think I've ever heard it.
Wow.
It's groovy. I like
really
it.
Good. I enjoyed that.
I like it. You got some good music, Chase, Brett. I like when we
I try, man. I try.
Yeah.
Got to keep the vibes high, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
All right, Best Bets Look Ahead presented by VIP Play. Folks, college football, the NFL, the NBA, and, hey, the MLB winding down as well. There's so much action to bet on, and thankfully, if you're in Tennessee, you can do it with the VIP Play app. Go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. When you make your first bet of $20 or more, you'll get $100 instantly in bonus bets by using the code FANRUN. That's FANRUN in all caps to claim those bonus bets. And whether you want to bet on Tennessee at -3 this weekend against the Sooners or take some action elsewhere in college football, or, hey, even wind down on Sunday, prop up on the couch and take a parlay, you can do it with the VIP Play app. Make sure you use the code FANRUN in all caps to claim those bonus bets. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 years or older and located in Tennessee to bet. Okay. We've got some line movement. Excited to break this down. Before we get into it, though, let's talk about the game that we've been talking about for the last hour. Oklahoma and Tennessee, the Volunteers stay firm at -3, and that would fall into my ranked versus ranked matchup criteria, as the home team is favored by 3 points or more. Right now, I like the Volunteers with the field goal, and that would be a play if it stands tomorrow. The line movement I'm talking about, and this is why it's significant, Texas has moved up to -3. Now, they were 2.5 yesterday when we talked about it. Now they're -3 up against Vanderbilt, and this could possibly be, folks, I'm not kidding, a 2 to 3 unit play on the Longhorns on Saturday. I love Vanderbilt. I love Diego Pavia. I know a lot of people don't like that I love Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt, but I think the mountain is too tall to climb for Vanderbilt in this one, and Texas has to have a win at home as their backs are up against the wall. I look at Texas minus the 3 right now as a pretty strong side. We'll go down the list, talk about another ranked versus ranked matchup. It is Cincinnati and Utah. This one is ballooned up to minus 10 following the injury news revolving around Pryor, Cincinnati's running back. He's going to be out for this one. I like the Utes at home in this one. Minus 10 might seem a lot, but I'm taking it. That will be a play on Saturday. Utah minus the 10, whatever they end up at, because it is over that 3 number. Elsewhere, we've got a couple of more games to talk about. I look at Virginia and California as one to have an eye on. This one opened at 7.5, folks. This one's down to 4.5 right now. Sagapulaiate or whatever his Sagapulaiate at quarterback for this Cal team, hosting a Virginia Cavaliers group that's traveling across the country. I think Cal, if they're able to take care of the football, will be in a battle in this one. And if I'm getting 4.5 of insurance, I dig that. So I right now lean Cal. I know everyone wants to hop on Virginia up against a 5-3 Cal team, but I look at the Golden Bears as a nice side. We go down the list. Brett's going to have a heyday with this one. Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets, come in at 5.5.
Can't even believe it.
And they're about to enter the House of Horrors, as Brett called it yesterday, up against the 4-4 Wolfpack of NC State.
So scary.
NC State plus 5.5. A current side I look at right now. And I know you might be saying, William, oh my gosh, we're going to take these middling 500 teams up against top 15 opponents.
Top 10.
It's the life of a gambler. It's the life of a gambler, folks. We bet numbers. We don't bet rankings. 5.5 at home up against a Georgia Tech team that has struggled in ACC play, has been outgained in ACC play.
NC State done?
NC State's got a good offense, and they've got to win. Virginia's lone loss of the season.
What's that?
It's NC State.
Okay.
NC State at home. I heard it's gonna be a good crowd. 7:30.
It's a good thing I like your other picks. You should have a winning week, even despite this. Just, it's a shame.
Well, those ranked versus ranked matchups, I could see 2 to 3 unit plays on all 3 of them.
All right.
So it could be a winning day.
I'm a Georgia Tech fan, so
yeah.
Hope that doesn't go your way.
Put this in your brains, people. The state of North Carolina, NC State,
Terrible.
versus a technical institute in Georgia.
What?
Look at it that way. Look at it that way, and it's not so scary.
Does nothing.
I'm kidding, folks. That's not my gambling perspective, and I do not use that either. But it is, a little funny. So those are the sides I look at right now. Florida, Georgia was one I talked about earlier in the week. I wouldn't mind taking the Gators plus 7.5. You're getting that that half point of insurance, but I feel like it's a little bit of a trap line. It's kind of begging you to take the Gators at 7.5. Oh, Florida 7.5. Let's take them.
Florida's got a good defense,
but they're inconsistent is the problem, and that's the problem with Auburn. That's the problem with Florida. That's the problem with half these teams in the SEC. You don't know what they're going to look like, and they're way too erratic. And that's the same with Texas.
Georgia, I feel like it's a little bit like that, right?
Yeah, but
like 1 week they'll go score like 50 like they did against Ole Miss, but then struggle against Bama and barely put up 20 points.
Yeah. But I have more confidence with Georgia than I do Florida.
Okay. Well, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, obviously got a new coach.
Yeah.
Interim coach, I guess.
Yeah. And I will say that is a really nice spot in the gambling world.
When you have an interim coach?
The first game after an interim coach off a bye. That's a pretty profitable setup. But
not in this
This
situation.
is a neutral site game.
Gotcha.
Up against the top 5 teams. So I don't know. Maybe we'll play it.
Is this one in Atlanta? Or is it in Jacksonville?
No, this is in Jacksonville.
Next year they start that.
It's where, Brett? Where is this, Brett?
Sorry, I don't have it on speed dial.
I know. I'm sorry. Where is this game being played?
Biggest crowd they'll have all year.
Oh, hey, that joke's already been played like 800 times. I think you did that last year,
and it's great every time I say it.
I think you did
and
that
it's
last
true
year.
Every
We
time
talked
I say
about
it.
this game. All right, best bets recap presented by VIP Play. I'll give those picks out exclusively tomorrow at Calhoun's. I guess if you're listening on the air, it's not that exclusive, but
I can't wait to see the reaction when you come out there and say NC State over Georgia Tech.
I'll be applauded.
Groans everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll be applauded. Look, they'll be
Good thing you'll be in disguise.
They'll be so high. Disguise. Are we doing Halloween costumes tomorrow? I guess we should probably talk about that.
We did some awesome Halloween costumes on air last year.
Yeah. We got to hit the break real quick. When we come back, we'll talk about our game plan for tomorrow and buy, sell, college football week 10. It's everyone's favorite segment. We'll do it when we return right here on the Playbook, presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
The flagship station for Tennessee football. Fans. Fan Run Radio.
Today, we raise a glass of Jameson Irish whiskey to the sport of football. Hear, hear!
To Gaelic football, born in Ireland in 1885 in its thrilling blend of soccer, rugby and basketball. On a massive field, 15 players kick or hand pass a round ball that scored points over a bar or into a net. No pads, no helmet, no sense.
Hear, hear!
To college football, which kicked off in 1869 when Rutgers beat Princeton 6-4 in the Battle of New Jersey. With 11 players and helmets and pads, teams battle on a 100-yard gridiron with explosive pass plays and hard-hitting tackles. Unless you're called for targeting.
Hear, hear! Since 1780, Jameson Irish whiskey has been enjoyed by sports fans all around the globe. Whether your football is Gaelic, American, or even soccer, we can all agree on super smooth Jameson Irish whiskey. Hear, hear!
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court-martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
At Knoxville Insurance Group, they understand the challenges many consumers face when searching for insurance coverage. That's why whether it's for you, your family, or your business, they create a coverage plan specifically for your unique needs. Knoxville Insurance Group is an independent firm, which means they aren't beholden to just one insurance company. They search multiple companies, acting as your negotiator to find you the best possible policy and price. Start a quote in minutes at KnoxvilleInsuranceGroup.com or call them today at 865-694-9788.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Here we go. Hour number 2 on a Thursday, live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios. It's the Playbook, presented by VIP Play. Brett Hollander, Allie Campbell, Alex Sarkis joining you. I'm William Pattison. Great stuff in hour number 1. We'll continue it here in hour number 2 as we do our annual Thursday college football buy or sell, this time for week 10. We'll also talk about college athletes possibly being allowed to gamble on pro sports. Is that a good idea? Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, says no. We don't agree very often, but I agree on this side. And we'll wrap it up with our final thoughts. But before the break, and just in time for a great promo, we were talking about tomorrow, obviously being Halloween. We'll be down at Calhoun's on the river. Tony Basilio kicks things off at 11 o'clock. We'll come on at 1. The Drive at 3 o'clock. Russell Smith, Bob Baskerville, the Bear. Walker Smith, no relation. We'll all be there. Looking forward to tomorrow. Come have a cold drink. Come get some lunch. Stay for dinner. It's going to be a fun time. I'm really excited about it. And I know Tony B was fired up about it, and appreciate him having me on the airways with him earlier. Actually, it was funny. I got a call. I don't have his number, right?
Right.
And I got a call, 865 number. I always pick up 865.
Do you really?
I always do.
Okay.
If anyone finds William's number, he'll answer you.
Well,
if it doesn't have somebody's name on it, I don't answer.
I always pick up the phone. You never know who's. Look, today.
Leave a message.
You never know who's calling. If I didn't take Tony's call today, I would have never been on the air. So I took Tony's call. And he goes, "Hey, this is Tony B," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, Tony B! I'm excited to come over tomorrow." He's like, "Let's get you on the air." So enjoyed talking to him about that tomorrow. He's going to be there. And really excited for tomorrow. Once again, Calhoun's on the river, kicking off at 11 o'clock. We'll be there all day. No reason not to show up. A good crowd going to be there. Tony always does a great job with those Calhoun's Fridays. Always has a really, really good crowd. But we were talking before the break, with tomorrow being Halloween, do we do costumes for it, or do we come as it's a Friday before a big game? In my eyes, I was going to come as William Pattison before a big game. Last year I was Trevor Lawrence. I don't think I'm going to do Trevor Lawrence in front of my first live crowd.
You mentioned somebody the other day that you were going to try.
Well, I'm Marty McFly on Friday night in Nashville.
Friday night. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to Nashville, you said?
Going to Nashville for the night and then coming back for the game.
That'll be chaotic.
That's a good plan right there.
Oh, yeah. Good. Yeah, wait till Saturday morning driving back, and then we'll see if that was a good plan. But I got convinced into it. Everyone's going there.
Taking the DeLorean?
The DeLorean?
That's the car. Do you even know?
What? Oh, I thought you were talking about my truck.
No,
you do all this.
You said Marty McFly, man.
Yes,
I
know.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, you were doing all this talk about backing up trucks earlier. I didn't know if you were.
Yeah, but then we got on the Halloween costume, Marty McFly.
I know.
And I got to the DeLorean.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So
I was making sure you knew the DeLorean.
I
Don't worry
do.
about that
I do.
problem.
So my red puffer came in last night, courtesy of Amazon. I've got to go
It's
to.
impressive you got it. When did you order it?
Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even more impressive.
Amazon Prime for students, even though I'm not a student anymore.
Hopefully they're not listening.
And then I got to go to Walmart today to get jeans. I don't own jeans. I don't wear jeans.
I don't either.
I don't wear jeans.
Yeah.
Really?
So I got to go get that and a jean jacket or a jean like shirt.
Okay.
And I've got a button down I'll wear, but like he wears a lot of articles of clothing.
Yeah.
But I do have the white and red Nikes to a T.
That was
I already have those
Wow.
red bottoms. I got them as a gift to me, like back in high school. Those will be out and about. I don't have the what are the shoes called? The fancy ones.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Those used to be
yeah,
it's like a hot topic in the sneaker world to
Yeah.
have those.
yeah.
But anyway, I will look the part, but I will not be looking the part in terms of Halloween at Calhoun's tomorrow.
Boo.
Well,
What if I show up in full costume and he's just William Pattison? I probably won't, but maybe we should do like.
what is your costume?
I have a few.
Well, do share.
Or she just shows up and we're like, oh,
Surprise
my gosh.
everyone.
Yeah.
My friend
I can
group.
put something together if y'all want to do it. I was thinking about doing it anyway.
Oh, wait. We should discuss and surprise everyone.
Yes.
What would you be, Brett?
Can you not find out? I don't want to give it away.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not going to show up in costume tomorrow. I'll say
Okay.
that. Y'all are welcome to if you want.
Okay. It's you're the boss. You want us to show up however, or do you want us in Big Orange Friday gear?
Alex, what do you think?
I would. Okay, if I was you, I'd show up in costume. It is Halloween.
I need to show
Like
up in
at least
costume.
something.
I thought Russell and Bob were talking about they were going to possibly be in costume.
Okay, I'll talk with them then. I don't know.
I think. I mean, Marty McFly is not the most embarrassing thing in the world. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, he's got to save that for his. I think he said.
Yeah,
you have something else you could pull off.
Well, I was gonna just be William Pattison. You know.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to do full Trevor for this.
Oh, no.
They should.
I would not bring that.
These people should see you for the
Hey,
first
everyone.
time without that
Yeah.
wig. But
We're so sad you didn't come here.
But then the Marty McFly
You should
look
have
though.
come here, Trevor.
The Marty McFly look though. I mean, obviously, if I told everyone I was Marty McFly, they could tell. But they might just think I'm some hooligan that wears jeans and a jean jacket and a red puffer.
They're gonna know who you are.
Yeah,
They're gonna know.
That's a recognizable.
Well, we can talk about it too.
Okay.
What I'm dressing up with my friends as Friday night is Trolls. Have you
Trolls?
guys seen that movie? I've never seen it, but
Okay, Trolls. You said you had a couple of them.
a couple of them. I have a red beret. If I wanted to do like a French thing, a lot of people are doing the Louvre robbers, which I think is hilarious.
Okay.
Wear like a bunch of jewelry.
Okay.
That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
I had one more. Oh, Wendy's.
Wendy's. Okay, yes, you told me about that one.
Yeah, someone else is doing Burger King.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Alex, do you have anything up your sleeve?
Me and all my buddies are going as the skeletons from Karate Kid.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
I had to make some adjustments to the costume. It was a little tight, so
Okay. Well, that is a good.
cut some holes.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be. It's gonna. So if you see us out there tomorrow night, be sure to come say hi.
Okay.
I won't be at Calhoun's, but
Yeah.
I'll be at,
Yeah.
other places.
Now, Brett, do you have anything on the table?
I do.
Already planned?
I had to put this together because I didn't know if I'd be attending this, and I wasn't planning on dressing up and things like that. So, but I do have something in the works. So,
Okay.
if we decide to dress up, I'm
Okay.
all go,
I'm
and I might
excited.
do it anyway.
Okay.
So
I'll talk with. I'll see what Russ and Bob end up doing.
it's Halloween.
I
feel
know
like-
it is.
or Halloween.
I
or whatever they
know.
call it.
I know, but it's a tough thing because it's also Tennessee versus Oklahoma.
Like I feel like Tony B might be dressed up down there.
I might. Well, I've got his number now.
You
I'll call him
do,
back.
you do.
Call Tony B back. What are you being tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm pretty sure when we played Arkansas, he wore the whole.
Well, that is true.
He wore the
Yeah.
neck thing like Petrino had
Yeah,
on.
I wonder if he'll be Petrino again tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. All right. Well, we'll actually talk about Bobby Petrino here in a minute during our Buy or Sell College Football Week 10 segment. How was that segue, Brett? Was that better?
That was beautiful, buddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Great work.
Buy or sell. LSU has more work to do internally before they can hire their next head coach. Now, LSU fired head coach Brian Kelly on Sunday night, bringing a quicker than expected conclusion to the slow motion car crash that has been the Tigers' 2025 season. LSU takes a backseat to no program when it comes to ranking college football jobs. But just yesterday, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry came out and said that AD Scott Woodward, who I think is a really big idiot, will have no part in the next hire. And the announcement was a flurry of chaos yesterday. Donald Trump was mentioned.
It's crazy.
Jimmy Sexton kind of had like a jab thrown at him. This was chaos. I buy that LSU has more work to do before hiring their next guy. Right now, I don't think LSU is a stable football program. Now, historically, and in terms of the eye pop, LSU is still a great program. But what's going on in those buildings right now, I think, is chaotic. And I don't know how they can sit down and hire someone when you've got the Louisiana governor doing a press conference about who the next head coach is going to be. Keep in mind, Scott Woodward was the same one that gave Jimbo Fisher the opportunity to coach for Texas A&M and Brian Kelly. He's now in charge of $129 million worth of buyout contracts. I wouldn't give him the opportunity to hire another coach either. I'm surprised he's still even there. But yesterday is something unlike I've ever seen before. It's like if the Tennessee governor started talking about who Tennessee was going to hire for baseball last week. It just doesn't happen. That tells me that it is chaos and they need to figure things out before they make a hire. Buy or sell, Allie. LSU has more work to do internally before they spurn to their next head coach.
I'm going to buy. I was back and forth because I feel like anyone would still commit to LSU because the history of the program and how big it would be to take over that role, regardless of what the internal standings are like. But it would be good to have that figured out before they actually make a hire and have that all settled. So I'll buy here.
Brett, buy or sell?
I'll buy. Although I did think it was pretty awesome that governor said all that. That's how big LSU football is down there. That the governor's involved, and Scott Woodward at the time, those were home run hires. You would think at A&M, with Jimbo, and then with Brian Kelly, it just didn't work out. You got to go big at those schools, and that's what I'm sure he talked to people, but yeah, I mean, I'm buying this overall though. It's a tough situation though for LSU.
Alex.
Yeah, we're gonna have bias all the way around. I like Brett said, I like the Brian Kelly hire to LSU originally, and like you said, it was kind of hard to not think so. But with everything that's going on, I mean, like that's crazy that the governor comes out and says that. I mean, that tells you about football in the SEC. But yeah, I mean, a bunch of internal stuff's going on, and if your AD is not involved in a coaching search, there's a big issue. So.
Buy or sell, Florida and LSU are competing for the same head coaches, saying that they're on the same level. Now, many of the same names for LSU have been posed as options for Florida, and that's why I wanted to bring this topic to the table, because I am buying that they're competing for the same guy. In reality, they are buying. I'm buying this because some people in these fantasy worlds, fantasy lands, think that Urban Meyer is going to trot down to the Baton Rouge and be their next head coach. Think that Nick Saban's going to pick up and leave. Wake up, people. That's not happening. And outside of those fairy tale land options, they're going after the same coaches. They're looking at Eli Drinkwitz. They're looking at Lane Kiffin. They're looking at James Franklin. Maybe not for LSU, but I'd say Florida would consider that. But they're looking at the same guys. So this identity and this ideology that LSU is going to be able to just get some knock it out of the park home run hire that no one else could achieve, like a Nick Saban or Urban Meyer, I don't think is plausible at all. So I think that Florida and LSU are competing for the same guys, and I buy that this is the situation. I buy that they're on the same level. Allie, buy or sell, Florida and LSU competing for the same head coaches.
I buy, yeah. Both are classic programs with deep histories. I think both have compelling reasons why they should go there, good recruiting classes, all of that. And I mean, they can both carry their weight with financial promises as well. So definitely a similar pool.
Alex, buy or sell?
It's a buy, and I would even argue you can throw Penn State in there because, I mean, we've never really seen anything, you know, the scale of these programs to all have coaching openings at the same time. Yeah. So it's pretty wild that, you know, there's a good coaching class out there to go get, but you know, there's three ginormous schools that have to do so. So it's going to be interesting. You're really going to see, you know, how these coaches feel and what these schools are willing to do. So yeah, it's one of the more wild storylines that I've seen in college football these past few years.
Brett, buy or sell?
I'm buying. I do think LSU's pockets are deeper than Florida's, though, by a wide margin. But when you talk about football programs, I think they're on similar levels as far as success goes. So, and there's not many great options out there. I think LSU could pry somebody away easier than Florida could with the amount of money they could throw at somebody, whether it's like a Dan Lanning or Marcus Freeman or somebody like that. But those seem to be up there in the clouds. So, but yeah, I'll buy it today.
All right, buy or sell. This one's going down in our backyard. Oklahoma versus Tennessee is a playoff elimination game. Now, the matchup between the Sooners and Vols is far from a play-in game, but the loser almost certainly has no chance to make the college football playoff this season. Both squads enter Saturday's matchup at 6-2, so a third loss would be difficult to overcome. Tennessee likely isn't a playoff team at 9-3 due to their strength of schedule. The Sooners could possibly earn a berth with 9 wins, but if Oklahoma loses to Tennessee, it's a hard time believing that they win versus Alabama, LSU, and Missouri as well. So there's very little chance they could run the table if they lose in Knoxville. And while I do have a little bit of stock I would sell, because I think Oklahoma, if they beat Alabama, Missouri, and LSU, they could maybe inch their way in with a big-time win over the Tide on the road. But I'm going to buy that Oklahoma, Tennessee is a playoff elimination game, even more adding to the stakes of Saturday's matchup. Outside of these two teams being ranked in the top 20 and having a really good offense for Tennessee, having a really good defense for Oklahoma, a night game, primetime, ABC, both teams' seasons are pretty much on the line. So I'm buying 95% of this stock that Oklahoma-Tennessee is an elimination game. Allie, what do you say?
Absolute buy. I mean, 3 loss teams in the SEC will not be getting in because there are currently 6 teams with 1 loss or less. So I don't see a lot of them gaining more than 2 losses in the rest of the season. So definitely buy here. I don't think 3 loss teams can get in.
Brett.
Oh yeah, this is easy buy as well. No way a 3 loss team's getting in. Even if you have 9 quality wins, that's just too tough. There's too many teams out there in other conferences that are going to have similar resumes and less losses, things like that.
Alex.
Well, for the Tennessee fans who wanted a home playoff game last season and didn't get one, you've got one this Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's all hands on deck for both sides, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a classic. It's going to live up to the way Georgia was earlier this year. Certainly an elimination game. I agree with Allie. I do not think 3 losses is appealing to the committee. We saw it last year with Alabama. Yeah. So no, totally buy.
All right, buy or sell. Bobby Petrino should be a real candidate for Arkansas. Now, the Razorbacks took a 21-10 lead into halftime this past weekend against Auburn, but then Hugh Freeze made a quarterback change, and the Razorbacks lost at home. I sell completely that Bobby Petrino should be a real candidate for Arkansas. I was actually watching this game Saturday with a couple of Arkansas fans, and they said, William, don't you think they should give Petrino a chance? And I said, are you kidding me? Hell no. Bobby Petrino should not be up for consideration for this job at all. I think he's a good offensive coach, a good offensive coordinator, but in no way, shape, or form are you bringing the guy that last time was coaching your team officially, was wearing a neck brace, and you want to bring this guy back? Hell no. I don't see in any way possible that he is the next head coach for Arkansas, and if he does, just shows you the state of the program for the Razorbacks. Buy or sell, Allie?
Sell as well. And that rhymed.
Yeah, there you go.
Not intentional, but they've had 3 straight losses since he took over as the interim head coach, and that just tells you all that you need to know. Some games that they should have been able to win, like that Auburn game where they had the lead and they gave it up. You need someone else you need someone else leading this team, and he's not the one to do that.
Alex?
Yeah, it's a sell, and they've played better under Petrino. Like, they came in the Tennessee and played a decent game. But he's not the guy that they would be looking for if this were a normal situation and not an interim situation. So, you got to give your program a chance to carry out a normal coaching search. And, like you said, he's already got enough history there. And I do not think he's the guy. There's going to be a lot more options when this year comes to an end.
Brett, buy or sell?
Sell. Get out of there, Petrino. A lot of talk today about Golish possibly being a candidate down there, so that'd be interesting. But yeah, you can't keep this guy as close as they've been. He just looks like a loser as well. You don't want that. So
that's a stretch.
Looks like a loser.
Hey, did you see him on the sidelines versus us? It was like midnight, and he had sunglasses on. What are you doing?
That's pretty cool though.
Whatever.
3:30 game is midnight, or 4:15 game.
It was dark.
Yeah, it was dark.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't that dark. It wasn't midnight.
It was. Shut up, William.
It'll be dark mode on Saturday, though, so it will be dark. I'll give you that one. Buy or sell, Hugh Freeze can still save his job. I'm interested to see Brett's opinion on this one. This roster is absolutely talented enough to will Auburn to 7 wins and potentially another year with Hugh Freeze. I think I buy this because I think that they have gone up against a really tough schedule. And they've been in it in almost every game. Oklahoma, Missouri, they get the win this weekend over Arkansas. I think this is a pretty easy buy. I know Hugh Freeze doesn't have a lot of fans in Auburn, but I'd wait it out for Deuce Knight, see if he gets the opportunity to play.
Love that guy.
I do love Deuce Knight. I cannot wait till the Deuce Knight rises. That's the film I want to watch. And Ashton Daniels, bless his heart, but he's no different than Jackson Arnold. I know he won the game this past weekend, but that Arkansas defense isn't anything to boast your chest about. Give Deuce Knight an opportunity, and I feel like he'll get another year. I think Auburn still has the talent, at least defensively, to win 7 games this season. I buy.
Yeah, but I could see it going either way, I will say. And if you can't make this comparison, but if Mike Norvell still has his job, then I think anyone can keep their job. So
yeah.
Good point, Allie.
Yeah. Norvell's staying afloat. I don't know how long.
Yeah, because it's $80 million to buy that guy out.
Yeah, James Franklin and company saying, we all float down here. Come on, come join us. Come join us, Mike Norvell. Buy or sell, Auburn?
I got to buy for Hugh Freeze. I think he gets a bad rap over there. I think, things are they could be a lot worse, and I think he's got to get a quarterback. And like you said, once you figure that out, then we can start talking about things. But, he's a guy that should have beaten Alabama a few years ago if it weren't for Gravedigger at the end of the game. So, no, I think, Hugh Freeze gets a bad rap. I like him, and I think he can get them going in the right direction if Auburn fans can be a little bit more patient. I know it's been rough, But once he gets a quarterback, I think things are going to look better.
Once he gets a quarterback, Brett's been all over the guy they have.
How many years does he want to have to get a quarterback?
Brett,
evidently he's got the Deuce Night Rises though.
Brett, you're a big fan of their former starter.
Yeah,
Buy
he should be going out the door with him. But it's also a tough situation because these other jobs that are open right now.
Yeah.
Like Auburn's like fourth on a list right now, so that makes it an interesting situation. Do you wait until these other jobs are filled, and maybe you get that might be the only thing that saves him. Honestly, because it's poor football down there, and he's just living off his Ole Miss days. Those couple times he beat Saban, that's it. That's all he's done.
Maybe
his golf swing's good now. I don't know.
Buy or sell, Missouri can still compete despite Pribula's injury. The Tigers only have 2 losses, so technically they're still afloat for the college football playoff race. And quarterback Matt Zollers came in relief of Pribula on Saturday up against Vanderbilt. He was the 3rd string heading into the season as Horn, their original backup, was hurt in the first game of the season against Central Arkansas. So now they're down to QB3, but Zollers was impressive. 14 of 23 for 163 yards and a touchdown on Saturday. I buy that Missouri can still be competitive because they've got the type of receiving core that can make plays. Ahmad Hardy, one of the best running backs in the SEC. Zollers looked dialed in. We'll see if that was a wrinkle and something that Vanderbilt was not preparing for. And, well, if that is a trajectory that continues throughout the rest of the season. But right now, I buy a little bit of stock in the freshman. I was impressed with Zollers. I'll buy that Missouri can still stay competitive in the SEC. Allie, what do you say?
I sell because of when this is happening in their season. This week they have Texas A&M, then Mississippi State, who's played very competitively, despite, ruining it for themselves consistently. But Oklahoma and Arkansas after that. So some tough competition coming up, and I think they need their key guy there. So having a backup will be harmful for them. So I sell.
Brett.
I buy. Like you said, I was pretty impressed by him. It looked like he had the better arm of the two. He could really sling the ball. They may not win some of these games, but I think they're definitely going to be competitive. So I'll buy Zollers, keeping them competitive.
Yeah, I'm going to buy as well. I mean, I think they'll be eliminated this weekend when they lose to A&M, but Bo Pribula was not the best guy throwing the ball, so that gives them another layer. But true freshman, it's going to be tough, but hey, we've seen some true freshmen really take over this year. I mean, Pitt has a true freshman that is maybe the best quarterback in the ACC right now. So, I mean, it's, feels like one of those years where true freshmen are they're getting their chance, and we'll see if Missouri can keep it rolling a little bit.
Yeah, real quick on Pitt. Pitt could be a playoff spoiler. And I was laughed
Might win
at.
the ACC.
I was laughed at a couple of weeks ago for saying that. But Pitt, with the way their schedule lines up, Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, and Miami.
And they have killed everybody that they've played with their new quarterback.
That Pitt-Miami game, Brett, remember that?
Yes, William, I do. It won't matter. They've taken their 1L. They're done. They're good.
Buy or sell, final one before we hit the break, and then we'll head to the phones when we come back. Buy or sell, Texas is too tall of a mountain for Diego and the Dogs to come out on top. Now, Arch Manning and Michael Toff were both listed on the SEC injury report as questionable for Saturday's action. But as we've seen the line move up a half point today, kind of trending in the direction that Manning will be able to go, I buy that Texas is going to be too tall of a task for Vanderbilt. I know that Vanderbilt has been a little bit more consistent over the last couple of weeks and has been competitive in a lot of big-time games. They were competitive with Alabama. I thought they were right there with them outside of a couple of red zone turnovers that put them in harm's way. I thought they were the better team against LSU, and I thought they were the better team this past weekend against Missouri, and they go 2-1 during that stretch. However, Texas on the road, back against the wall, a very, very talented defense with the type of personnel. Colin Simmons off the edge, Trey Moore at linebacker, Anthony Hill at linebacker. I think it's going to be a lot for Diego Pavia to escape. So I say Texas too tall of a mountain here. I buy it.
I sell here, not to say that Vanderbilt absolutely will beat Texas, but I think it's very possible for them with how their season's gone and the surprising wins that they've been able to have. And Texas, as we know, has looked very inconsistent, almost lost to Mississippi State, almost lost to Kentucky, lost to Florida. I think that anything's possible for this matchup, so I sell.
Brett.
I think I'm selling. I think the defense has been. You talk about Pavia playing so well, but their defense has impressed me as well. I thought they played really well against Missouri. Even Perbila's in there, and I think they were in the game with Bama all through the fourth quarters, battling with them. So I've been impressed by them as well. I mean, I'm kind of in the boat where it's going to be a close game, field goal game like the spread shows. But I could definitely see Vandy getting a dub at Texas this weekend.
All right, Alex.
Yeah, I think Vandy's certainly going to be competitive. I'm going to buy, though. I think they will lose the game, and I think, depending on what happens with Arch, we'll see. But, no, they'll be competitive. Pavia's a gamer, and I'm a huge Pavia fan like you are. But I think it's going to be too tall. I mean, we did see them compete at Alabama. I think it'll be a similar game to that. But, this is the one game that Vanderbilt really has yet to win, I feel like.
Yeah.
In this come up that they've had is that big road game. And this is a chance to do it. And, I certainly think they're perfectly capable of, but, I think it's going to be just a little bit too much that Texas has.
All right, that's our college football buy or sell for Week 10. When we come back, we'll hit the phones and also talk about the NCAA possibly allowing athletes to bet on pro sports. Stay right here. It's the Playbook presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Hi, this is Bo Kregner from the Kregner Group at Realty Executives. And I know there's a lot of choices here in East Tennessee when it comes to choosing a realtor. Here's why the Kregner Group is different. At the Kregner Group, our motto is walking by faith, serving others. It's how I live my life. It's how I run my business. Here at the Kregner Group, we're committed to doing real estate the right way. Faith, honesty, integrity. The Kregner Group. Call me anytime at 865-742-1035 or visit my website at bonoshouses.com.
This football season, crack open a cold beer that doesn't fumble the flavor. Garage Beer is 100% beer-flavored beer. No gimmicks, just cold beer. Co-owned by the Kelsey brothers and brewed right here in the Volunteer State, Garage Beer is perfect for fall fire pits and Tennessee tailgates. So pick up a 12-pack today of the official beer of Football Fridays on Fan Run Radio. Garage Beer, 100% beer-flavored beer.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half, simple luxury for on and off the course.
Vol fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
That's why
All right, back here on the Playbook presented by VIP Play. We appreciate you listening along with us. Coming up in 29 minutes, it's The Drive right here on Fan Run Radio. Russell Smith, Bob Baskerville, the Bear, and Walker Smith. No relation. coming up right here from 3 to 6, rounding out your Thursday. They'll be joining us tomorrow at Calhoun's on the River, as we'll have our live shows. The attire still TBD. I'll have to have an executive meeting in the outside to figure out what they're wearing. If they're wearing costumes, I might throw together my Marty McGee, or not Marty McGee, Marty McFly.
I don't know if you can replicate his hair. Oh no!
Alex said
Yeah.
Alex said earlier in the week I've kind of gotten the look for him. I don't know. If
Dude,
that's
you got the Marty McFly going.
Is that a compliment?
Marty McGee is what I was kidding.
Oh,
about.
yeah.
He's
You
got
mean
that like.
Ryan McGee?
Yeah.
Marty Smith, you mean?
Yeah.
Marty Smith.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
Marty Smith looks like he's been electrocuted. I don't know if that's a lot of hair gel.
My goodness.
That's a lot. And it's not a straight him. I like Marty. I think
No,
he's
yeah,
He's
totally.
a good reporter, and
Very
he's
good.
versatile too. Can do the NASCAR. Can also do the.
Yeah, he's excellent.
football.
He is.
Yeah. And Ryan McGee, he's a Tennessee alum.
He is.
He's he came and spoke to us a couple of times. Shook hands with him. Good dude. VFL. But I meant to say Marty McFly. So
Yes, you do have the Marty McFly hair.
yeah, we'll see if I'll be Marty McFly tomorrow. Or maybe I'll be Marty Smith and electrocute myself and have a bunch of goop in my hair. Real quick, YouTube chat says Arch is terrible in all caps. Vandy has a better chance if he plays, to be honest. Well, get ready to see their backup. I think they have the worst backup in, honestly, Power 4 football.
He threw
Texas?
a sweet pass in that game.
He is garbage.
He threw one pass. How do you know?
Jacksonville State to Gardner Webb, and then last year was at New Mexico.
It's an underdog story.
He's no.
Wow.
Garbage. 4 years.
Goodness gracious.
They took. I mean, they took him on a flyer. Like,
Did you see? He made the winning throw against Mississippi State.
he's garbage.
Okay.
All right, we'll head to the phones real quick. We got Roberto on the line. What's up, Roberto?
Man, you guys have given me so much material in the 2 minutes since you cut break, but Marty Smith is what his hair is what happens when you drink gallons of Saban's bathwater.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Okay.
Is that at the VRBO that he does on those commercials?
Dude, his nickname is Marty Two Straws. You know that, right? Because he drinks so much of Saban's bathwater, he slurps it with 2 straws.
Oh my gosh! I haven't heard that one before.
You guys not know this? That's his nickname, Marty Two Straws.
Well, now I know.
He's an absolute buffoon, and it's probably one of. I mean, what he's done with his career is admirable. But for not knowing anything about sports, he's done a hell of a job getting a career in sports. He's really curtailed being a stupid redneck from North Carolina and a big NASCAR guy into how did he become Marty and McGee? Marty of Marty and McGee. I have no idea because Ryan McGee is actually talented. Other than that, I actually like Marty as a person. There's several times I've gotten to meet him.
There you go.
But he's a complete buffoon. Ask him a sports question individually. When you're actually with him, it's like staring into the abyss when you look into his eyes.
Well, his whole thing is talking to people, so his, that's not really his area.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like being knowledgeable about sports on a sports show. Is that interesting?
Have you read his book? Have you read his book, Roberto?
No, I refuse to read. I don't read coloring books. So
yeah, that seemed to be a stretch, Alex. After everything he just said for about a minute, I wouldn't predict he'd be one to read the book.
Yeah, is it written in crayon?
Magic eraser.
Yeah. So, anyways, enough of that. All kidding aside, he's actually been very kind a couple times I've met him. He's a kind man. I'll give him that. I actually had a buy or sell for you guys.
Okay.
Ooh.
Buy or sell Josh Heupel going to the top of Oklahoma's coaching search list when they inevitably fire Brett Vegetables on Sunday after he loses to us here.
Now, are you saying like he would take it?
Brett Vegetables is going to be fired if they lose Saturday.
Are you saying if he would take it or just be on the hot board?
No, on the hot board. But, I mean, as soon as we beat them, in your opinion, does he become number one on their fan hot board, if you will?
That's a good question, Roberto. Honestly, I I would sell that because I don't think Heupel would go back. I know Heupel played there and won there and had success
as long
there.
as Bob Stoops is involved, you are correct. But what if Bob Stoops got the old heave-ho because he's the one who wanted vegetables so bad?
Yeah, but I think Stoops is still going to be involved though. Like he's probably going to be one of the guys involved in the coaching search. Would he not? I mean, he's the most successful guy they've had in a while.
Yeah, but he was involved in their last coaching search, which ended in abject mediocrity at best.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. You screw one up, you usually get a redo. You screw two up, you get no redos, and this would not be. I would just say this would not be good for him.
What level job?
I don't know.
What level job do you think Oklahoma would be? Let's say just hypothetically, and I don't like hypotheticals,
Today?
but
like if it opened today.
Yes.
Out of all the jobs that are open, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Below LSU, in my opinion, probably slightly above Penn State because they recruit kind of the same. They don't really recruit their own states as much.
Really?
I mean, Pennsylvania does. Yeah. I would say it's right there with Penn. I would say it's a top 3 job available right now if it comes open.
I'd say LSU.
Right there. Maybe Florida.
I'd say LSU and Florida are better. I'd say Penn State's a more achievable job personally. I'd say probably 4 or 5. I think they're kind of a step above Arkansas, to be honest. Arkansas's got good funding.
For sure. And definitely a step above Virginia Tech.
Wow, I didn't even consider that.
We forget UCLA's open.
Oh.
A lot of,
Everyone's itching at the door to get there.
I hear Franklin is very, very viable candidate out there. That's what I've heard the last 2 weeks from my people out at UCLA.
I'd be surprised they don't just hire a skipper.
For it.
A skipper or give Neuheisel the job.
That's true, yeah.
I mean, they've put Neuheisel on every poster and post over the last month.
I know.
It's possible.
I don't. If they hire Neuheisel or whatever, Joffrey Lannister, they're 100%. They have swung and missed on 2 mega candidates. But I'm telling you right now, this is from somebody who sits on the board that makes those decisions. He's one of my clients. He has told me they're going after James Franklin. I'm not sure he's going to end up there, but that's what's happening.
Okay.
And then, I guess I'll end with this. Thank you for letting me go on my Marty Smith rant. Man, I feel better. Man, that was like,
you're good. Hey, got to get it all out before the fun weekend.
Yeah. I don't want to peak too early, so I'm getting my aggression out right now. Poor Marty. He didn't do anything to catch it both barrels from Berto.
Yeah.
Another one that I would say that's going to be real interesting because you said, does a 3-loss team in the SEC get in the playoffs? And everybody roundly said no, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only one I could argue that would, ironically, in my opinion, would be Oklahoma.
Yeah,
it would be because you could say, hey, Mateer was injured. I mean, he played, but he was injured against Texas. He looked like crap against Texas. So obviously that was an injury thing. And the second part, and maybe more importantly, is they have the gnarliest schedule in college football. I think their last 8 teams that they play are ranked. So if they only lose 3 of those 8, they're probably getting in.
Well, here's the thing to counter your Texas argument. If they lose Saturday, that's back-to-back losses, one of them in their home building. I get losing at Tennessee is not a bad loss, but losing at home, in my opinion, you can't.
Ole Miss is a playoff team too, so I mean it's the same argument you're making for Tennessee.
Yeah,
at that point.
Yeah, and that's why they're in the same boat. Really, that's why the Saturday's so big. Both teams are pretty much in the same boat.
But I do think that Texas. A lot of people don't want to hear this. I don't think Texas is. I know it was a system play for you, right? Basically,
yeah, they will be.
Texas is getting the absolute crap beat out of them on Saturday. That's happening.
Oh, no.
I don't care who their quarterback is. Jesus could be their quarterback. They're taking an L because Vanderbilt is good. And I hate them, and I don't want them to be good, but they're going to stifle them with their defense. And Clark Lee, don't sleep on him for the Penn State job, from what I hear. Take care.
All right, Roberto, we appreciate you calling in. Let's real quick, I do want to talk about that game. I know y'all got mad at me earlier in the week for talking about Vanderbilt, but it was one of the buy or sell questions. I just think, and Alex said it too, Vanderbilt just hasn't had one of these wins yet. If there were a spot, I guess it would be beating Texas with a Arch Manning that's been inconsistent throughout the year and now is banged up. But I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Going on the road to Texas, is something that only like Georgia and Alabama have been able to do. Is Vanderbilt at that level now? I love Diego Pavia and the Dogs. I do. I don't think they're ready for that.
I was really impressed the way they did play at Alabama.
I was too.
So that, Texas is not Alabama. So I think it'll be, I think it's going to be a one possession game without a doubt, but they're not going to go in there and blow them out. I don't think so. I mean, I have all the love and the respect in the world really for Diego Pavia. He's one of my favorite players in college football, but like we said, do they have enough to last 60 minutes at Texas? I don't know. And we're really gonna find out a lot. Like it's one of the more toss up games for me.
Look, I'm a gambler, and I analyze numbers and stats and stuff like that. The books continue to give Texas a lot of props, and that's one thing I've noticed throughout the entirety of this college football season. You even go check on to make the college football playoff, they still give Texas the benefit of the doubt because of that roster. And my thing is, if Vanderbilt lost to Alabama, like if Alabama and Texas played right now, neutral site field, that'd probably be like a 1.5, 2.5 point spread. Probably towards favor towards Alabama. They've been more consistent, but it'd be pretty close. If Vanderbilt lost by, what was it? They lost by 14, 15. I know like that last touchdown was added on, but they lost about by 10 points. I feel like Texas, should win by a touchdown here.
Texas should be coming off 2 losses right now.
That may be true, but they're playing at home.
That was 4th and goal against Kentucky in overtime.
But
Mississippi State's up by 17. The more I talk about it, the more I'm liking Vandy in this one.
Me too.
But Tennessee, sorry.
No, go ahead, William.
But Tennessee goes on the road and plays Mississippi State, and that's a game that goes to overtime, and we're talking about Tennessee being a college football playoff team.
Texas has their backs against the wall, too. They're playing for their lives at home. It's this, and they know they haven't played well. Yeah. They know they didn't play well last week, and they won, but they didn't play well.
Yeah.
When you have your backs against the wall, you're going to – I personally believe you do some things that maybe, you're playing for your life.
Yeah.
That's how it is, and that's how it's going to be on Saturday, I think.
Yeah. The Texas defense is why I'm comfortable placing it. Because the Texas defense is good.
Yeah.
And you can say whatever you want about Arch Manning, but they do have their backs are healthy now. Quintravian Wisener and CJ Baxter are back. That's a big part of it. Phone's bouncing off the wall. We've got talking about Texas and Vanderbilt. People are riled up. I just think Texas deserves a little bit more credit than they're getting.
It is interesting because the only real team that they've played this season at home is Oklahoma, and they beat them 23-6. So that's the only thing that we really have to compare to when playing at home. So that's a good argument there.
Yeah, Texas hadn't really played anyone. Obviously the Red River rivalry was a neutral site game, but that was still in Texas, 50-50 crowd, and that was an actual team. But now you've got to host a Vanderbilt team that's red hot, back-to-back top 25 wins. Pavia's playing well. Do we have anyone on the phone, Brett?
No, we're good.
Okay. Yeah, I saw you were working them back there. I didn't know if we had someone on, but I still give Texas the benefit of the doubt like the books do. So I'm saying this now. It's probably gonna be a 2 or 3 unit play. If it gets to 3, that'd be my biggest play of the season. That's how confident I am right now.
I could see it going either way for sure, but there's a fighting chance.
The biggest question is what is Arch? Concussion protocol, even though he was at practice yesterday, he's questionable. He's got to clear that before any of this. Now, if Arch doesn't play, that completely changes things, right? Or do you still like Texas?
If Arch doesn't play, I'm not betting on Matthew Caldwell.
Okay.
The former Jacksonville State nobody that went to Gardner-Webb and played against. We played Gardner-Webb in basketball for a non-conference game. Where was he at last year? He was at New Mexico State or New Mexico, one of those. I think it's New Mexico State.
If it's New Mexico State, I'm looking right now because if it's New Mexico State, you've got a battle of New Mexico State transfer quarterbacks.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true.
Let me look. Matthew Caldwell's the name.
Yeah.
I was looking at his rundown. I know he went to Jacksonville State, didn't play. I was pretty sure he was a New Mexico State transfer.
Troy.
I don't believe he was.
Troy. That's what it is. He's
yeah.
Troy.
Yeah.
Errors and omissions, folks. He's from Troy.
Troy, Jacksonville State, and Gardner-Webb.
85 yards for 1 touchdown this season. He's garbage. He's garbage. I mean, I'm not betting on that. Looking at his numbers from last year, he was at Troy last year. 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 13 to 8. Completed 63% of his passes. For his career, that's the highest he's ever done. At Jayville, completed 46.7% of his passes. I get that was in 2021, but I'm not feeling the juice on this guy. Texas needs, if Arch plays, I'm taking Texas, which is not a phrase that has been said much this season.
Not at all.
Yeah. We'll come back to wrap things up. Stay right here. It's the Playbook presented by VIP Play on Fan Run Radio.
Check out our new and improved website at fanrunradio.com.
Hey, folks, if you're in need of a lawyer, you need to call my friend Jerry Givens. I've known Jerry since high school and can personally vouch for him. He's East Tennessee through and through, and if you're going through a divorce, bankruptcy, or a DUI case, you'll need someone you can trust on your side to help you navigate the local legal system. You can trust Jerry Givens. Call the law offices of Jerry Givens today at 865-801-9250 to schedule your free consultation. That's 801-9250.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Here we go.
All right, final segment of the program. Wrapping up the Playbook presented by VIP Play on this Thursday. Coming up next, it's The Drive. Russell Smith, Bob Baskerville, the Bear, and Walker Smith. No relation. Coming up from 3 to 6. And then tomorrow, you can catch us, The Drive, and Tony B at Calhoun's on the River. Going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. Looking forward to it. A live crowd. I get to see the reaction when I say Tennessee -3 is going to be a system play. I get to see the reaction when I say Tennessee gets it done in dark mode. Brett gets to see the reaction of when I say possibly NC State +5.5, and everyone stands up on their feet and cheers.
Crowd boos.
Yeah. Just can't even believe you would do that one.
I don't bet rankings. I bet numbers.
You know what's sad going through X right now and seeing Tony V in a Giants jersey?
I was trying. I was not going to bring it up.
Do you have an MLB team, Brett? Do you root for anybody?
Braves.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
Growing up with the Braves.
If you don't have anybody, you could be a Giants fan. But
I guess I'm going to support Tony.
I've seen some people on Twitter getting their Giants merch in.
I have too.
Well, there were a lot of Giants fans last week. People were transitioning their Tennessee accounts to Giants accounts.
That was so funny.
I was cracking up.
I saw somebody made an AI video of Tony talking, saying he wasn't going to take the job. It was hilarious.
AI is terrifying these days.
Man. It sure is, yeah. Especially now. I've
Yeah.
made some crazy stuff on that new Sora app or whatever it's called.
Well, it gets bad to where you can't, like, you think it's AI and you're like, hold on.
Yeah.
Like, some videos are, like, kind of grainy enough, or maybe it's like, it's a specific type of grainy.
Yeah.
But it's, like, kind of pixelated a little bit, and you're like, hold on. Is this AI?
It's
But
like
a year
that.
from now, it's going to be so much better, too.
Yeah.
Like, even harder to tell.
It's like the uncanny valley phenomenon. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of, it's creepy. It's weird.
Well, I hate it for, like, some of these NBA players or just, like, personalities, because, like, I've seen, like, 5 videos of LeBron saying just something ridiculous.
Yes.
But the problem is, and I'm not trying to, poke at, a certain age group of people, but, like, Facebook right now, they put these ridiculous graphics of stuff like Joey. Like, I had someone send me and he's my age, and that shows you how big of a dumbass he was about this. But it was like Joey Aguilar talking about like politics.
Yeah.
And he was like giving a political stance. And I was like, Reese. All right, now I just said his name. But I was like, Reese, in what setting would he even be able to answer a question like this? Do you think Bill Martin over at Tennessee is allowing political questions to be asked? Like, it was just so ludicrous. But he showed me the post, and it's got 16,000 reactions and 2,000 comments. And people actually believe it. And that's why I'm like baiting and rage baiting has become the big thing on everything these days to get numbers. And I hate that that's the way to do it. But that's to a different level. Like there's one way of like reporting something that is true, but kind of spinning it with a clickbaity headline. It's another thing to just put something out there that's never happened. It's like, I feel bad for people that believe that stuff.
Yeah.
Like my mom will send me, she's an Ole Miss fan. My mom will send me like, did you see that Lane Kiffin said he's going to Florida? I'm like, no, that's not happened. That's not happened. And she was like, well, this post said that he loves Florida. And I was like, well, I can look at the quote, but that probably never happened. There was one about Taylor Swift too. Taylor Swift's a hot topic on Facebook. Taylor Swift said this, and then people will blow up.
Run with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's a scary world.
Be careful out there what you read and what you believe. Because if you look it up, like if I saw that Joey Aguilar graphic of him talking about politics, I'd look it up and put it on. And if it doesn't pop up immediately, then it didn't happen.
That's something that's just so like unrealistic though.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious to me.
Can you imagine that in one of these press conferences? Joey, what's your stance on Jamaica right now? And it's like that. And I'm not trying to make fun of Jamaica or anything like that. Obviously, very, very sad what's going down there. But just like I meant to do like a hot topic of something that's going on. But yeah, just gotta be careful of what you read, what you watch, what you write. Yeah. AI a big part of that. Allen Iverson's been drawing his ass off. I'll tell you that.
Nice little dad speech to end the show there.
I know.
That's pretty good.
I know. Yeah. All right. Well, once again, a reminder, tomorrow, Calhoun's on the river. Kick things off at 11 o'clock. Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. We'll be on 1 to 3. The drive from 3 to 6. The fan run box reveal will be tomorrow. Make sure to get as many entries as you can before we do that unveiling. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of great prizes in that box. So you're going to have to stay tuned.
Williams' best bets in there?
Well, hopefully for week 10, yeah. Hopefully I might just throw my tickets in there, and then you can double your money. We'll see. I swept 3 times last year. I've not swept this season. And I don't have that many weight
either.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
I took that personally. That's going to wrap things up on a Thursday edition of the Playbook presented by VIP Play. For Brett Hullander, Alex Sarkis, and Allie Campbell, I'm William Pattison. We'll see you same time tomorrow right here on Fan